Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, a big announcement from the president today. 1 million barrels of oil will be released per day from the country's reserve to help with gas prices.
Plus, a special day for the transgender community as they celebrate Day of Visibility. But first,
just because one piece is real, does that mean all of it is? No.
Inside the classroom as students learn about media literacy. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. In the age of social media, figuring out what news is real and what's fake, it can be difficult.
To help figure out what's fact and what's fiction, Lincoln Public Schools introduced media literacy to teach kids. And you can't believe everything you see. Channel 8's Macy Meyer was in the classroom today and has a look at what they're learning. Macy?
Well, I think we can all admit it could be pretty easy to get caught up on social media when you see an eye-grabbing headline or a picture, but students are quickly learning that doesn't mean it's real.
Is every single thing that's on the internet true? No. Oh, good. If you remember nothing else, I hope you remember that.
Every day, millions of posts circulate the web, but it's no secret, not all of them are true.
If you don't know what furries are, it's where school children dress up as animals, cats or dogs, during the school day. They meow and they bark.
Just this week, a state senator fell prey to believing something on Facebook that turned out not to be true. He retracted his statement, but it shined a light on an issue many people face, coming across an article online that looks true, but isn't.
Raise your hand if you think it's fake.
Cat is cat. Cat.
Right down the street from the Capitol, students at McPhee Elementary are learning at a young age how to decipher fact from fiction.
We need to give students the tools for today's media environment, which again is that looking at multiple sources, looking for those pieces of author credibility, and really just equipping them for the environment that they're living in and will be media consumers and creators in.
Ms. Ball teaches media literacy in the library to kids from kindergarten all the way to 5th grade, providing them with what they need to know when reading an article or viewing a post online.
If we don't have evidence, can we say it's a fact? No.
5th graders in Thursday's class were learning things like lateral reading and fact-checking multiple sources. Even at a young age, they know figuring out what's true and what's not can be a little difficult.
It's very tricky, yeah. Like one time I confused.
As technology has evolved over the years, it's created more hoops to jump through for fact-checking.
We were kind of given checklists and we were told, if anything that had .org was immediately trustworthy, and that's just not really the case anymore. Those types of checklists, the way that we used to teach media literacy, doesn't really work anymore for today's media environment.
That's why Ms. Ball gets the students engaged with having them look up sources and double, even triple check what they found. To prepare them for the day, they start sharing pictures and articles online. She ends every lesson with the same question. What is our responsibility to others for the things we share?
It's our responsibility as consumers and as creators of media to make sure that it is true to the best of our knowledge and ability.
Students today seem to be very good fact checkers. In fact, they even taught Miss Ball something new, and I want to see if Rod knows this. Megan, I already know she's hip, so she does. You heard the kids in the story say cap. Do you know what that means, Rod?
No.
It actually means that something isn't true. So there you go.
So
there's your lesson for the day.
That story is cap?
No, that story is not cap.
That story is not cap.
Well, I'm not talking about yours, but yeah, you could say that story or whatever.
There
Yeah,
you go.
okay.
There, you're catching on. He's got it.
I learned something today. Macy Meyer, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Today is March 31st, which means it is Transgender Day of Visibility.
A day to respect and celebrate all trans people and the right to live their truest lives.
Days like today where we can come together as a community are really important for folks because everyone wants to be seen and valued and respected and treated with dignity.
And Abby says a good way to mark the day is by letting the people in your life know that they are seen and valued. She said in today's political climate, offering up that listening ear or a hug can make a big difference for transgender people. Some encouraging news when it comes to helping people with mental health struggles.
A bill that would provide more funding to grow the number of mental health professionals in Nebraska passed the first round of debate.
And loading the pipeline, if you will, to getting more people in play that can come into the world of mental health and substance in all the places it's existing in Nebraska.
The bill calls for more funding to help operate behavioral health workforce development centers in all areas of the state. It will also expand paid training and internships, as well as recruitment and retainment efforts for professionals. It's estimated 95% of the state is short on mental health experts. We'll have much more on this story coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. 2 people were killed this morning in a crash on Interstate 80 near Milford.
It happened a little after 3 a.m. Seward County deputies say a semi-driver was traveling westbound on I-80 and then lost control. It caused the rig to overturn. They believe road conditions were a factor. The names of the 2 people inside the semi who died have not been released. The White House is taking action to try and generate relief for millions of Americans feeling the pain at the pump.
President Biden announcing a plan to release 1 million barrels of oil a day from the country's strategic oil reserves. But will it even be enough to lower gas prices? ABC's Eyewitness is in Washington with more.
Today, President Biden announcing the release of 1 million barrels of oil a day from the nation's strategic petroleum reserves. Up to 180 million barrels total, the reserve's lowest level since 1984.
Our family budgets, your family budgets, to fill a tank, none of it should hinge on whether a dictator declares war.
This time last year, gas was around $2.87 a gallon. Today, AAA says the national average has ballooned to almost $4.25 a gallon. But critics say the move may not have the desired effect. Biden has twice released oil from the U.S. reserves in the past 6 months, 50 million barrels in November and another 30 million barrels in March after Russia invaded Ukraine. Moves that have only had a muted effect on easing prices. Biden saying part of the problem is reduced oil production here at home. The White House says domestic oil and gas producers are sitting on more than 12 million acres of leased federal land that could be used to produce oil and gas, leaving Biden to talk about part 2 of his plan, achieving American energy independence.
Not only to ease the pain that families are feeling right now, but to end this era of dependence and uncertainty, and to lay a new foundation for true and lasting American energy independence.
According to the Energy Department, as of March 25th, the U.S. strategic oil reserves had 568 million barrels remaining. The department says it'll use the revenues from this release to restock the reserves. Eyewitness, ABC News, Washington.
Now on to the latest on Russia's war in Ukraine. U.S. and European officials say Russian forces are struggling to take control of Ukraine.
This is new reports from several intelligence agencies that say Russian leader Vladimir Putin isn't being told the truth about how badly his army is performing.
One of the Achilles heels of autocracies is that you don't have people in those systems who speak truth to power or who have the ability to speak truth to power.
The Kremlin today responding, saying American officials do not understand President Putin or the decision-making mechanism or understand their work style. However, British intelligence claiming some Russian soldiers are disobeying direct orders.
We've seen Russian soldiers, short of weapons and morale, refusing to carry out orders, sabotaging their own equipment, and even accidentally shooting down their own aircraft.
Russian forces said they were supposed to be scaling back military operations in some regions of Ukraine to promote trust between the two sides, but the Pentagon says it has seen less than 20% of Russian troops that had been around Kyiv reposition from that city. And as we know, millions of people have fled Ukraine into neighboring countries.
Some even relocating to the U.S. So is Lincoln a possibility to welcome some of those refugees?
We are standing at the ready. We have been a refugee resettlement community for decades. We have, of course, welcomed recent Afghan evacuees, and should there be an opportunity to welcome Ukrainian members into our community, former Ukrainian residents into our community, we stand at the ready to do that.
The mayor answering that question this afternoon. It was part of a new plan to make any integration of immigrants and refugees into Lincoln and Lancaster County successful. Between 2014 and 2019, Lancaster County grew 6.5%, but the immigrant population grew by a little more than 16%. Officials say this plan is necessary to shape a more supportive, safe, and successful community for everyone. To see the full plan, click on this story on klkntv.com.
When I came into work today, I actually had to wear my sunglasses. The sun had come out, John.
Yeah, it was taking a little while, especially for Lincoln and areas off to the east. To the west, you guys saw lots of sunshine throughout the day. That was after even a little snow early on this morning, or more so late last night. But you can see as we take a live look from Beatrice, we've got nice blue skies out there. There are some high thin cirrus clouds out off into the distance as we're looking off to the southwest from Schoen's roofing. Right now on the visible satellite imagery, you can see the clouds, those little pesky clouds that we had. Those have moved off to the east. They're now over towards Iowa. There's not a whole lot going on back in the western part of the state. And in fact, if you look closely up into Cherry County, just southwest of Valentine, the clouds that aren't moving, that's still some snow that's on the ground from last night's and yesterday's snow. Temperature-wise around the state, we're ranging anywhere from 40 degrees in Nebraska City to 60 degrees in Scotts Bluff. So a 20-degree spread from east to west. Right now around southeast Nebraska, temperatures mainly hanging out in the middle to upper 40s, some low 50s as you head out towards the Tri-Cities, also down towards Hebron. For the rest of this evening, look for clear skies, 48 degrees by 6, 42 degrees by 8 o'clock, and 36 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. With clear skies, we're likely going to have a cold start tomorrow morning with temperatures down into the 20s, but there are changes coming starting as early as tomorrow afternoon. That's all ahead in my Storm Alert Team forecast.
All right, thank you, John. Talk to you in a little bit. Lincoln Children's Zoo announced its newest member today.
That's right, Kay is the second giraffe born at the zoo. Her birth comes just a month after they announced Mosey, their first giraffe. The zoo made the decision to hand raise Kay after she didn't initially take well to her mother. After discovering that she liked goat's milk, the zoo began purchasing it from Shadowbrook Farms.
At that point, she'd been very, very ill for several days, had been really barely eating anything at all, and had some severe infections going on at that same time. And after she was offered that bottle of milk, she actually ate more in the first feeding with that goat's milk than she'd eaten for the last 3 days combined.
Kay now averages 2 to 3 pounds of weight gain a day and is expected to nearly double her size by the time she turns 1. Isn't she cute?
She is.
Still to come on the news tonight, fierce storms tore through the south and the Gulf Coast.
We're going to have a look at the damage and your full forecast right after the break. Stay with us.
Now to that severe weather moving toward the East Coast after slamming the South and Gulf states overnight.
Hundreds of thousands of power outages reported earlier today after more than 24 reported tornadoes from Arkansas to Alabama. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Downed trees, collapsed homes, and roofs blown off across several states after fierce storms tore through the South and the Gulf Coast. At least 27 tornadoes reported in 7 states. At one point, more than 190,000 customers without power. In Arkansas, an EF3 tornado with 145-mile-per-hour winds, leaving several people injured. Buildings and cars destroyed. Widespread damage reported in Mississippi's capital. Cameras capturing a possible tornado racing toward downtown Jackson. The twister forcing workers at the state capitol to take shelter in the building's basement. More than 350 others huddled together in the Rankin County Safe Room, a building built to withstand 250-mile-per-hour winds.
Do you feel safe in places like this?
Yes, we do. This is our second time here. We was here last Tuesday and we're here today.
You just don't take any chances with storms?
No chances, and I'm afraid of bad weather.
This large tree came crashing down outside the governor's mansion.
We got a tornado right here, right there, just to the south of the TV station. We had a little bit of a spin right there.
The high winds bringing down power lines, setting off a fast-moving blaze.
Problem was the wind taking the main power line down and sparking and starting fire.
In Birmingham, Alabama, a large tree falling into the road, catching fire. In Bibb County, this mobile home flipped over with at least one person trapped inside. This massive storm system now targeting the East Coast with severe weather expected from Virginia to New York, D.C. and Baltimore. Widespread damaging wind gusts and potential tornadoes are expected. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dessauer.
Yesterday, the count, following up on that previous story, ended with 299 reports of severe weather across the country and 39 reports of tornadoes, with the largest cluster down into the Alabama area, and miraculously, only one injured out of the entire country from that. So that is definitely some good news. Around here, not great news, as the Drought Monitor that was issued today has increased the severe drought areas by nearly a third, or 33%, than what it was last week. So now 59% of the state is now included in that. And the extreme drought is beginning to expand. The coverage area is expanded by nearly 2 times, by 175%. So much of the state, while we've seen some little bits and pieces of some moisture moving through, not enough to be doing much of a dent. So we could still use some rain over the next several days. I want to show you this also. This is looking at the spring leaf index anomaly, indicating how much earlier or later than normal we're starting to see some leaves pop up on vegetation. In the city of Lincoln, we're down about 7 days ahead of normal or ahead of schedule, 8 days ahead of schedule in Omaha. So we're seeing the negative. That means we're early. The plus symbols, which there aren't any on the screen, would indicate we are late, and nothing being reported yet in New York or Columbus, but you can see we are definitely ahead of schedule by about a week in most areas as far as seeing some leaves showing up on vegetation. Taking a live look outside right now from Lincoln off to the northwest from Honda of Lincoln, we've got nice blue skies. It took a while to get those clear skies, and with the clearing, we are seeing temperatures rebounding nicely compared to 24 hours ago, where we are up 10 to as much as nearly 20 degrees warmer than yesterday afternoon. It's 48 degrees, the high of the day in Lincoln. It's 48 in Beatrice, 49 in Aurora. We do hit 50s as you head out towards Hebron, Hastings, Grand Island, and Kearney, where it's all 51 degrees as of this hour. Visible satellite imagery showing you the clouds from this morning finally pushing off to the east. It was in Lincoln right around 2 o'clock or so is when the sky started to clear. We've seen lots of sunshine throughout the day out towards the Tri-Cities, and it's not just us. Much of the state has got clear skies back to the west, and because of that, we're going to keep our skies clear tonight, and temperatures are going to drop. It's going to be a chilly start tomorrow morning. You may want to grab an extra blanket. Down to 26 degrees in Lincoln, down to 27 degrees in Beatrice, and 25 degrees in Seward, 24 in both York and Columbus. Not a lot of wind starting out of the north, shifting around to the southeast by early in the morning. Clouds will quickly be on the increase as we go through the day tomorrow. It will be warmer than today. We should be able to make it up into the 60s. But the other thing we're going to watch out for is just a little bit of moisture starting to come in here. So some scattered showers will be possible. First out towards the Tri-Cities during the early to mid-afternoon. By late afternoon, we'll start to see it moving in towards the Lincoln area, also out towards Seward. Beatrice, it may be more towards the evening before we see any scattered showers coming our way. But temperatures tomorrow again warmer, 62 in Lincoln, 62 in Seward, 64 in Beatrice. Starting to get a little windy again out of the south-southeast, sustained 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts to 28 miles per hour. Tomorrow evening, if you have dinner plans out and about, well, just know you may want to take an umbrella with you. You may have to turn the windshield wipers on a few times because we will have some showers around. A little more widespread rain as we go through the overnight. That'll quickly move off to the east, and then we should start to see things clearing out around here by early Saturday morning. In fact, I think Saturday itself is going to see a fair amount of sunshine around here, with temperatures back up to 62. We'll turn a little warmer on Sunday, but there will be a chance for some scattered showers again, mainly north of Lincoln over the northeastern. It's called the third of the state. 67 Sunday afternoon, 67 again on Tuesday. We'll have 3 days with the chance for some scattered showers by middle of next week. Also turning windy once again for Wednesday and Thursday. And then right now for the Husker game, it's still looking pretty warm with sunny skies, a high temperature of 70 degrees.
All right, thank you very much, John. Let's take a look at Wall Street. Some major losses today. The Dow plummeting 551 points. NASDAQ also falling 222. Here are your numbers. We'll be right back.
Finally tonight, after 42 years as the top dog, a record-breaking roller coaster is set to re-break its own world record.
Here's tonight's Take a Look at This.
the world's longest roller coaster just got even longer. Since 1979, the Beast at Cincinnati, Ohio's Kings Island Amusement Park has held the Guinness World Record for the world's longest roller coaster. I've been on this thing, let me tell you. It's no joke. The ride lasts over 4 minutes. It's really long. 7,359 feet long to be exact. At least that was until the park did some off-season retracking work, which the park's peeps say resulted in an extra 2 feet of total track length. Which means after holding onto its laurels for a lengthy 42 years straight, at a newly revised 7,361 feet long, the Beast will end up breaking its own world record when it reopens in May. A proposed memorial tourist park in Maine could be the future site of the world's tallest flagpole. The 2,500-acre project called Flagpole of Freedom Park would be centered around a massive 1,461-foot pillar waving a giant American flag. That would make it a flagpole taller than the Empire State Building. The park would also feature a 9-mile-long memorial wall honoring all of America's veterans, as well as other tourist attractions. The $1 billion project still has to clear a ton of red tape, but is already in the planning phases, with a targeted completion date of July 4th, 2026, just in time for America's 250th birthday. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Let's get one final check of the weather for our evening tonight, John.
Yeah, it's nice feeling a little sunshine, so if you head out this evening early on, you'll get to do that. 48 degrees at 6 o'clock. By the way, sunset this evening is at 7:51. Once the sun sets, temperatures should start dropping pretty quickly. There's not going to be much wind around. Temperatures eventually dropping down into the 20s for the morning.
All right, thank you, John, and thank you for joining us.
World News Tonight is up next with David Muir. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Seafood is back at Amigos. Everyone gets their favorites, even my picky eaters. And I don't have to cook. But the Baja fish tacos belong to Mama.